as I come to light the Christ candle, well, I've got nothing more to say than what was said last week in person at Jubilee with our friend Patti Jamieson as she spoke and we lit the Christ candle. Let me share that with you now.
And now I'm going to invite a member of the family. I'm going to invite Patti to come up and talk to us, to share her thoughts on the importance of pride, or whatever you want to talk about.
In the mirror, I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. Thank you. Good morning, all. Thank you, Norm, for the opportunity to speak today. Little does he know this is sermon number 1. The importance of pride can be different things for different people. But one thing for sure, that is love all the time, everywhere, every day. I've heard heterosexual people ask, what do you need a Pride Day for? My response is always, be thankful you don't. I came out in 1991, and I know some of you might not have been born at that point, or even your parents, but I digress. I went to the first ever Pride in Toronto. We marched past 51 Division headquarters, and the fear and the adrenaline was incredible. It felt like we were doing something we shouldn't have been, and at that time may have been true, but we felt like it was our God-given right. Later that day, after the parade, my friends and I went back to our car to find that it had been broken into. We had to go back to that same 51 Division and report it. The officers there questioned us and asked us if we were some of the people that were marching past their station that day. And again, the fear came up, and we cowered, and we said, oh no, that wasn't us. Can you imagine being so afraid? Be thankful you don't have to. As the years went on, with each Pride I attended, and I never missed one, it was more about being with other gay and lesbian people and feeling safe, like it was okay to hold my girlfriend's hand and kiss in public. As safe as we thought that was, the fear never left, and we continued the fight. But for one day of the year, we felt somewhat safe. However, after that day, it was back to the closet, so to speak. I recall when I lost my mother in 2002, the obituary read my name with my partner's name in brackets, as they do. I came into work after my bereavement leave to that same obituary posted on the lunchroom bulletin board, with that section circled with stars beside it. Excuse me. My years attending Pride taught me to stand my ground, so I went straight to my boss and insisted it be removed, and the entire plant, made up of mostly men, had to make an apology. It took me since 1981 to dig past that fear and stand up for myself. If I didn't, then who would, and at what cost? I could have lost my job. Things like this still happen. During the AIDS epidemic, many lives were lost. A lot of them died alone. Family and friends totally ignored these men, and it was heartbreaking. Lesbian women were stepping up to take care of them so they had a hand to hold when they took their last breath. Those women were angels. That was a very tough time for the LGBTQ+ community, and society was not very supportive. For several years, Pride was all about fighting for the rights of these people and their partners to have the right to be with their loved ones in their last days. At that point, some hospitals weren't allowing AIDS patients, and those that did wouldn't allow partners to be with their loved ones, and families would forbid it. Can you imagine having to fight for that right? Be thankful you don't have to. The older I got, Pride became more important and took on a whole new meaning. It was all about fighting for our rights as citizens of Canada. And thanks to the LGBTQ+ pioneers like myself and others, we marched for equality, the right to be with who we loved, protection against losing our jobs, our homes, and in some cases, our children, and eventually the right to marry who we loved. Can I get an amen on that? Amen. Can you imagine having to fight for those rights for yourselves? Be thankful you didn't have to. It certainly made us stronger. However, many years later, even with all the marching and fighting for these things, there are still people in the LGBTQ+ community that are getting beaten up, ridiculed, have eggs and assorted objects thrown at them, called every name in the book, and worse, lose their lives at the hands of others, and some who can't handle the fear and rejection from family, friends, and society that they take their own lives. The suicide rate for the LGBTQ+ youth is incredibly high, and sadly, their families turn them away, but then wonder why they took their own life. Pride is and always will be important so that there will be no fear for the whole community and equality for all, and for all to feel safe, to be free like everyone else and have the same rights as all citizens. The raising of and the visibility of the pride flag is another important part of the LGBTQ+ community, and many members of the community who choose to fly our flag at their homes and even businesses have had it vandalized or stolen. And don't get me started about other countries. So you see, there is still so much to be done, not only here in Canada, but around the world. This year marks the 25th anniversary for same-sex marriage in Canada, and thanks to all the faith leaders like Dr. Reverend Brent Hawkes, whose courage and advocacy made marriage equality a reality. This year's Pride theme is "We Won't Stop." We never have. Our struggles are real and still exist every single day. I want to thank all of our allies. We can't do it without you, and we still and always will need your help. All God's children, regardless of who they choose to love, deserve better. They deserve to be seen and heard, not just on Pride Day, Pride Month, or Pride Weekend, but all 365 days of the year. During the month of Pride, it is customary to greet others with a hug and say Happy Pride. So to all of you, I say, Happy Pride. Thank you.
I have no right or need to add any words. I will simply light the Christ candle and acknowledge that we have just witnessed the light of Christ. Don't let it go out.